Hey, thumbs up when everybody's ready. Everybody got it? What a great football game, number one, between an ACC team on the road at Minnesota. It's a hard place to play. And then you have the distraction of an hour delay, and you're not even sure what time you're going to get to play. So we talked to the guys about sudden change in their lives and just handling whatever's thrown at them. We weren't sure we'd get to loosen up when we got here, and all that happened. And then we played great defense the first half and throughout the game, probably as good as we've played since we've been here. Tough defense, especially against the run. Our kicking game was probably the best we've had. We made every field goal. We kicked the ball out on kickoffs all but once and covered it great. I don't think you made the 25 on the return. And then our punter averaged 51 yards a punt and put one down at the 1 yard line. So those are things that win football games and in tight games, and especially on the road. Offensively, we ran the ball well. We didn't run it consistent, but Omarion's really good and we'll get better, and Darwin Barlow will play more in the future as we go. Hated that Max got hurt. I thought he was getting his confidence and coming into his own in the third quarter when he got hurt. We're not sure how badly he's hurt. He's at the hospital with his parents, and we will wait. He's in our thoughts and prayers for sure. And if we hear something, we will let you know. But the guys took care of the ball. Connor had 2 drives to win the game. The play that he made where he looked like he was going to run on the option and stopped and threw the ball downfield was a game-winning play, and that's who he is. That's what he can do. Connor never pouted about not starting. He was all in, and when he came off the bench, he said, let's go. I'm ready to play. So what we haven't done well, in my estimation, in the last few years, we haven't won games where one of the phases didn't play well. And we found a way to win this game. And that's what's so important, it's all about winning. They played as hard as they could. I really admire PJ Fleck. I hate for his team. They didn't win. I really hate for the young guy. I love that our young guy kicked the field goal through. I hate their guy missed it. That's tough for him. And it's good for us. But I told PJ after the game, this is what college football should be about. A bunch of great kids that played as hard as they could play for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and it comes down to a last kick. And then the kids were hugging each other and praying together after the game. That's what college football is all about. And I was really, really proud of this game tonight. Questions?
You mentioned Max, kind of finding his rhythm that second half. What gave you the confidence to kind of stick with him after that first half?
We felt like that he hadn't been in this offense before. And we felt in general that the offense was uptight the first half. And Minnesota's a good defense. We knew that. We knew this would be a line of scrimmage game, and we were having trouble protecting. So we felt like that we would adjust to things at halftime. I thought the coaches did and gave him some better opportunities. And then I thought Max settled down and had more confidence in that third quarter. And I really hated to see him get hurt. But we've talked about needing 2 quarterbacks, and we talked about Connor was probably going to play in this game at some time. So thank goodness Connor was ready.
Mac, when Max goes down and has to be carted off, that's a pretty tough moment for his teammates to see. What can you say about how they were able to mentally reset and help Connor and the rest of the guys win this game?
We've talked about doing every little thing possible to help with their confidence, to help with their commitment, to help with their discipline since January. And we're looking at so many different things to figure out how to finish the season better. We played more people tonight. We had fewer penalties tonight. We did a lot of really good things for an opening game. Most opening games are so ugly. You lose them more than you win them. And we didn't lose the game tonight. We hung in there and we fought. And I'm just proud of the change in all of these guys' confidence and their attitude, especially our defense. They got momentum right before the half. They go down and score. And here we are walking around. We got our head down a little bit, and we said, no, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to pick it back up, and we are going to have confidence this second half, and the team had that.
The kids spoke the whole last month about freedom on defense and being liberated, not being boxed into a system. At what point did you see in the last 4 weeks or so where what happened tonight was possible with this group? Not just a couple of series, because they've done that before, but stacking those series.
Yeah. Every practice I have seen really good gap control against the run up front. I mean, every practice. Ted Monachino's done an amazing job. Those linebackers stepped up. I thought with a club on his hand that Amari Campbell made so many plays tonight. He missed a sack because he couldn't wrap him up. And we had a 3rd and 27 that poor Caleb came in, maybe his first play in college football, and missed the tackle early. But I really felt like that the defense, since the spring, since Jeff Collins came, the coaches are all inclusive. They all believe in him. The defense believes in him. They were singing and dancing before the game and in their team meeting. He calls it dabbing up, and they're all hugging each other and telling them they love them. And tonight, I was so proud that when things didn't look good for us in a couple of situations, they hung together and fought through it and made plays.
We've seen flashes from Jabari through his 3 years previously. It looked like everything just kind of came together tonight for him.
It really did. I was so proud of him when he ran their quarterback down.
Yeah.
I thought that big man ran him down, and that's usually where you get a horse collar, and he didn't. He very carefully grabbed the edge of his jersey and took the other side and tackled him and pulled him down. So very, very proud of Jabari, and they're not having to play 70 plays. Those guys split reps, and in the end, we had like Bo Atkinson and Jacoby Cowan and Des Evans played so good tonight, and he was back in the backfield all the time, and Kamen Rucker, and they weren't going to let them get there. They chipped them all night like we tried to chip their ends, and they got the ball out of their hands fast. But I thought it was a game with 2 new quarterbacks, really 3 new quarterbacks that hadn't played a whole lot, and the defense dominated the game and the running game, but both teams have a chance to be good.
Mack, with the way the fourth quarter got to seesawing back and forth, and as you said, it wasn't a work of art at times, but some of the plays, like the Amari Campbell punching it out with the club, Connor Harrell to JJ, I mean, it looked like it was almost a hook shot in basketball to the throw. Like the ability to find the plays, did that give you guys some pride to take out of here, just to be able to find the plays to win the game?
Absolutely. It's hard to win. This was supposed to be an even game. It was even, and our guys found a way to win, and that's all that's important. And it's funny, Adam, when you say it wasn't what'd you call it, a work of art? It was if you're a defensive coach. It was if you're a special teams coach. We've just seen offenses run up and down the field, and we haven't played great defense. We can get better on offense, but to play that good on defense in an opening ball game, and to play that well in special teams, where I think you even questioned our punter.
I just asked you about it.
You did in a questioning manner. Are you okay with that punter? Is the way he looks? And
I think he asked if you were losing sleep at night over it.
I think that's. Thank you, Andrew, for being factual with Adam here. But no, I thought people that offense sells tickets and people love offense, and so when the offenses don't look as good, people say it's an ugly game. Defensive coaches love ugly games because that means there's not a lot of points scored. And that was a traditional, old-timey Big Ten football game where you had to run the ball, you had to fight for everything you got, your kicking game had to be great, and you had to play great defense. I think there was 1 turnover each. I think theirs led to a touchdown, ours led to a field goal. So they got 7 points out of the interception. We got 3 points out of their quarterback fumble. And then we made the field goals and they missed 2. And that's what the game came down to.
When you think of the way Noah's season ended 2 years ago, and then look at the year he had last year, and then what he did tonight, is your confidence in him was high to be any bigger at this point? Because it looked like you were playing to kind of rely on his leg a little bit there.
Yes. At the end, we wanted to kill the clock. We wanted to get rid of their timeouts as much as we could, and then make them use them and try to get it down to where we could kick the field goal and kill the clock. Because with the 2-minute warning now, it's harder to kill the clock than it used to be. And they had 3 timeouts when we went below the 2-minute. But we were very confident in him. It was funny. We had a kicker kick the game-winning field goal in the Rose Bowl against Michigan, and we had Justin Tucker too kick the game-winning field goal at Texas A&M, and I remember Justin was going to make it. It wasn't any question; he always did. But the young kicker for us against Michigan, they called 3 timeouts at that time because you could. Now you can only call 1. And after the 3rd timeout, I could tell he was antsy, and I walked out there and said, "You are the luckiest human being in the world. You're going to get every girl on the Texas campus that's going to be calling you and getting your number." And then they blocked it, and it went through about this high. So he still got all the calls. But I started to go out and talk to Noah tonight, and I went out, and I was kind of going to say, "You got this." And he never looked at me. He looked down. So I think that's just really, really proud of him.
His leg's gotten stronger, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's got a really strong leg. I didn't realize he was 18 of 19 last year.
But I'm saying that was a career long tonight.
Yeah, I was hesitant on the 30 ball from the 35. That's a long field goal, and in an opening ball game, and there was a little breeze in his face, but I think it was 4th and 6, so we felt like we should go ahead and kick it.
I just look at the big picture here. I mean, to go on the road and win in a Big Ten environment the way you did, and resiliency you showed, and you had lost a quarterback in the first round. What does this do, big picture, for you and your team? And then also, ACC getting a road win at the Big Ten. We know there's going to be all kinds of arguments come November and December.
Yes, it's you really couldn't have scripted it better. Last year we won the game 31-17, I think, and people thought, Minnesota didn't play good. Tonight, everybody saw exactly what happened, and it was a tough, hard-fought game that got down to the end. And in fact, I could tell just looking in PJ's face how he felt, and I'd be sitting in here feeling that way if that field goal had gone through. But that's what this game's all about. It comes down to a play or two, and normally we say there are 7 to 10 plays in a game that make a difference, and you play for 3.5 hours. And tonight, that's what we're going to find when we start grading that thing in about an hour on the way home.
Mac, Aiden Banfield got the start on the offensive line as a true freshman in a Big Ten road environment. That's no small thing. What can you say about him, and what gave you the confidence to give him that start?
Yeah, Howard Sampson had started maybe 2 games or not.
I don't think he started, but he played.
He hadn't started. Austin Blasky had never started. And you start looking at Trey Green, had never started. I mean, that's a bunch of puppies. And then you take a freshman, put him in there at the left guard, and he'd never played in a game, much less on the road. And he sprained his ankle last week. So we're a little concerned about him tonight. And I just, from the sideline, he looked like he deserved to be out there. He's really smart. He's tough. His mom's a graduate. He loves North Carolina. And now I'm proud that happy that we've got 9-10 days before Charlotte. So it'll give him a little chance to get home and get well.
No, one more.
Mac, what did you tell Max, if anything, when you walked out there when he was down?
He was in such pain, I couldn't. I mean, we all were trying to talk to him, but he was really in pain. So we were just trying to pick him up. I was so proud of those kids. They all came over, and they were all patting him on the leg and saying, "We're proud of you." But he was just in a little bit of shock and trying to figure it all out himself, and that's why I can't wait to talk to him and tell him how proud we are. And the guys they gave 2 game balls tonight, one to Chancellor Roberts because he's undefeated as the chancellor at the University of North Carolina. He's never lost a football game, so that's pretty cool. And we gave one to Max, and Max doesn't know it yet. We will get that word to him when we can talk to him.
Did you get a preliminary report on him at all?
No, I learned a long time ago that we need the doctors and the parents need to find out what's wrong first before any of us do, and it's really tough on those kids on the sideline if they hear anything that's negative about a player. So we found it's best to get him to the doctor, get him to the hospital, get him with a doctor, make sure we know exactly what happened instead of having speculation on TV where maybe the parents are at home and hear it. So I have not talked to he or his parents. I know the parents are at the hospital with him. And I don't know whether he'll go home with us tonight or not. We will find that out. We'll find that out in a few minutes. Is there anything else? You had one question. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What did you tell Connor when he stepped into the game for the first time?
I told Connor, you're really, really good. It came down to the end where we didn't know which one to start. Go win the game. And some kids would have pouted they didn't start. And some kids would have had a chip on their shoulder the whole game. I was looking for him fast, and he was warming up by himself. And then he came out and said, "We're good, Coach." And again, that we've got to figure out exactly what he does best. But that play he made where he could run and throw is who he is. And he can do that, and he's so smart, and he's so classy, valedictorian of his high school, top student in our business school, one of the best, if not the best leaders on our team. He's one of the leading guys in the leadership committee. He's going to be fine. I'm not worried about him. We've got to find out. We've got to make sure that we get a package that he can do. And it was hard with he and Max because they're different. Right now, we'll be able to, depending on Max's status, but if Max can't play against Charlotte, Jacoby will now be a factor starting in the morning too. Okay?
Thanks, y'all.